Hello everyone, welcome to the new series of solved previous year's ICAR PG examination, Plant Science, where we will discuss the questions specifically on genetics and plant breeding. It will really help you to revise and memorize the concepts. So let's get started. Question number 1. Natural hybridization has taken place between the following two species of mango of Southeast Asia. The correct answer is option A, Mangifera indica and Mangifera sylvatica. Usually, intervarietal hybridization occurs in mango, but the natural hybridization has occurred in the following species. Question number 2. Incompatibility reaction of pollen controlled by the genotype of the plant on which it is produced is. The correct answer is option B, sporophytic incompatibility. Sporophytic system is determined by the genotype of the plant, whereas the gametophytic system is determined by the genotype of the pollen. If we talk about heteromorphic incompatibility, it depends on the different morphology of stamen and style. Question number 3. Cytoplasmic genetic male sterility system is not utilized for hybrid seed production of. So out of these, it is not utilized in maize. In maize, CMS, that is cytoplasmic male sterility system, is used because it is unable to produce a functional pollen. Question number 4. Aberrant chromosome fragment that lacks a centromere and is unable to orient properly during cell division is. So it is called acentric. You can see here a fragile site breaks and this acentric fragment arises. Question number 5. A polyploid organism in which the multiple sets of chromosomes are all derived from the same species is. The correct answer is option A, autopolyploid. Polyploidy, as we know, it is a heritable condition of possessing more than two complete sets of chromosomes. So here we are talking about the same species, so that is why autopolyploid. If there had been different species, then the answer should be allopolyploid. Question number 6. The phase in cell cycle in which the DNA content of the cell doubles and the chromosomes replicate is. So the correct answer is option B, S phase. It is also called as synthesis phase as the DNA is synthesized and doubled here. Question number 7. The point at which paired homologous chromosomes remain in contact as they begin to separate during the first phase of meiosis, forming a cross shape is. So the correct answer is option B, chiasma. Here at this point they begin to separate, and in F2 generations we can see the recombined type. Question number 8. The information carried by an organism's DNA which determines the synthesis of proteins by cells and which is passed on when the cell divides. The correct answer is genetic material, because the genetic modification is the manipulation of the genetic material. Amino acids, we know they are the building blocks of proteins. Then we have the genetic code. It is the 3-letter code corresponding to the specific amino acid. So the correct answer will be genetic material. Question number 9. In a nucleotide, polymers containing 50 or fewer nucleotides are generally referred as. So in the question we know nucleotide consists of a nitrogen base, it has a pentose sugar, and it has a phosphate group. Polymers, they are the large number of molecules. So when we are talking about 50 or few nucleotides, we are talking about polynucleotide. Question number 10. Among the conceptual classes of alleles, which two classes are more relevant while formulating core collection sampling strategies? The correct answer is option B, rare and localized, because less than 1% frequency, they are present at this much of frequency, so it will help to collect the core collection properly. Question number 11. Watson and Crick constructed the DNA model where 5' and 3' phosphodiester bonds run in which direction? So they run in anti-parallel direction. This is because they form the hydrogen bonds between the nitrogenous bases. Also, the nucleotides should be complementary and it makes the DNA more stable. Question number 12. The cytological event when unreduced megaspore mother cell produces the embryo sac following mitosis instead of meiosis is called, so this condition is called diplospory. Here the megaspore mother cell produces the embryo, whereas in eposporus the nucellus produces the embryo. In advantageous embryo condition, the integuments produce the embryo. Question number 13. In plant breeding, while selecting for a trait generation after generation, if the mean would change towards the direction of selection, the trait is a. So the correct answer is option C, a polygenic trait, because it is following a directional selection. Question number 14. While transferring a homozygous dominant gene from parent B to A, which has homozygous recessive gene, which generation will have half the population possessing the dominant gene? So the correct answer is option A, F1 generation, because we know that F1 generation has 50% of dominant and 50% of recessive characters. Question number 15. To circumvent or overcome a major barrier to interspecific crossing, breeders use the following technique. So the correct answer is option A, chromosome doubling. It is done with the help of colchicine. Chromosome doubling helps in producing stable homozygous haploid plants. Question number 16. Male sterility controlled by the interaction of a genetic factor present in the cytoplasm and nuclear gene is, the correct answer is option B, cytoplasmic genetic male sterility, having a nuclear gene and a sterile cytoplasm. Question number 17. While practicing selection for yield improvement in crop plants, the genetic change that occurs in a population is, so the correct answer is option number D, increase in genetic diversity. By selecting for or against the genes, several gene combinations they arise, which helps in increasing the genetic diversity. Question number 18. A distal segment of a chromosome that is separated from the rest of the chromosome by a chromatic filament. So that is called a satellite. Here we can see it is separated by a secondary constriction. Question number 19. Which of the following triplet code is not a stop codon? Out of all four, we know UAA is a stop codon, UAG is also a stop codon, following by UGA. AUG, that codes for methionine, is a start codon. Question number 20. A cross involving one parent with 3 heterozygous gene pairs and another with 3 homozygous recessive gene pairs is, so the correct answer is option C, back cross. If we talk about top cross, it is made between an open pollinated variety and an inbred line. If we see a test cross, it is done between F1 into the recessive parent. If a wide cross is done, it is done between the several different genotypes. Question number 21. The polymerization of ribonucleotides into a strand of RNA in a sequence complementary to that of a single strand of DNA, which is mediated by a DNA-dependent RNA polymerase is, so this is called transcription. Question number 22. A genome that is diploid but contains an extra chromosome homologous with one of the existing pairs so that one kind of chromosome is present in triplicate. This condition is called, out of these, the correct answer is option A, trisomic condition. In trisomy, we have an extra copy of chromosome, whereas in triploidy, we have an extra set of chromosome. Question number 23. The method of breeding that gives the maximum opportunity for the breeder to use his skill and judgment for the selection of plants is, so the correct answer is option B, pedigree method. Question number 24. genetic organization by which the harmful effects of unfavorable recessive alleles are masked by their dominant alleles, as a result of which they are retained in the population is, so this condition is called genetic drift. If unfavorable conditions occur, the dominant alleles mask the recessive alleles and they survive the population. Question number 25. Important factor which determines the structure and cohesiveness of population. So the correct answer is option A, gene frequency. This is the percent or fraction of population that carries an allele at a particular locus. Question number 26. Recombination occurs during the following phase of the cell division. So the correct answer is option number C, prophase 1. Question number 27. In plant breeding, selection of genotypes in favor of two extremes is called. The correct answer is option B, disruptive selection. Here we can see the dark colored moths are more favored, so in one direction the selection occurs. The peacock tails should be moderate, so stabilizing selection takes place. In case of diversifying or disruptive selection, both the directions are selected. In case of rock pocket mice, where light colored as well as the dark colored fur, they are considered. Question number 28. If two or more characters are inherited together and continue to be inherited together in next two or more generations, then those characters are said to be, they are called completely linked characters. Question number 29. The genetic measure calculated by dividing the observed number of double recombinant chromosomes upon the expected value is, the correct answer is option A, coefficient of coincidence. If 1 minus coefficient of coincidence occurs, then the interference is calculated. Question number 30. Which of the following enzymes is used to degrade DNA molecules? So the enzyme used is called nuclease. To degrade DNA, we use DNase, and to degrade RNA, we use RNase. Question number 31. The mechanism which promotes self-pollination in crop plants is, if we see the options, monocy is a condition in which the female flower and the male flower, they are present on the same plant. In dichogamy, the female plant and the male plant, they are different. In case of chasmogamy, a flower opens after the pollination has been taken place. In case of heterostyle, we see a condition or a flower which has a long style or a short stamen, or the vice versa. So the most appropriate answer is option C, a chasmogamy, because here the flower only opens after the pollination has been taken place, which gives rise to the self-pollination. Question number 32. What are all the assumptions of Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium? The correct answer is option B, which is the large population size, random mating, no selection, no migration, and no mutation. If these conditions favor, we come to an equation of p square plus 2pq plus q square is equal to 1. Here they represent p square is the homozygous dominant population, pq is the heterozygous population, and q square is the homozygous recessive population. Question number 33. The phenotypic ratio in Mendel dihybrid cross is, so the ratio is 9:3:3:1. We can see here the phenotypic ratio and the genotypic ratio. Question number 34. An inbred rice variety with the offspring or succeeding generations having the same genetic makeup is a, so the correct answer is option number B, pure line. Question number 35. In a DNA molecule, cytosine and guanine are attached by how many number of hydrogen bonds? We can clearly see here cytosine and guanine, they have 3 hydrogen bonds, whereas adenine and thymine, they are connected by 2 hydrogen bonds. So the correct answer is option number C, that is 3 hydrogen bonds. Question number 36. The idea of one gene, one enzyme hypothesis, that is, genes act through the production of enzymes, was produced by. The correct answer is option B, Beadle and Tatum. This proved that each gene produces a single enzyme. Question number 37. The cross between wheat and rye is called. The correct answer is option A, intergeneric cross, which led to the formation of triticale. Intergeneric cross is done between the different genera of the same family. Question number 38. Sugars present in DNA and RNA respectively are. So DNA has deoxyribose and RNA has ribose. The correct answer is option B, deoxyribose and ribose sugar. Question number 39. A restorer gene is present in. So it is present in the nucleus. In cytoplasmic male sterility, the sterility factor is present in the mitochondrial DNA, whereas the restorer factor, it is present in the nucleus. Question number 40. Complementary gene produces phenotypic ratio of. The correct answer is 9:7. In case of complementary gene action, if the recessive alleles are present in homozygous state, the character will not show. So it is important that both the dominant alleles are present so that the character is visible. Question number 41. Which is the best breeding method to transfer disease resistance gene from unadopted germplasm? The correct answer is option C, backcross method. The backcross method allows us to transfer a desired trait from one variety to another selected genetic background. Question number 42. In a cross between two homozygous parents, no genetic variation is present in. So the genetic variation is not seen in F1 generation, as the dominant parent and the recessive parents are in homozygous state. So F1 has less genetic variation or no genetic variation. But if selfing takes place, we are able to see a lot of genetic variation. Question number 43. A homozygous line developed by self-fertilization in a cross-pollinated crop is termed as. So it is termed as an inbred. Question number 44. Mendelian population means. It means a random mating population where the individuals are randomly mated with each other within the population. Question number 45. A haploid contains. So it contains gametic chromosome number. The somatic chromosome numbers, they are diploid. So if the gametic chromosome number of a species is 7, the somatic will be 14. Question number 46. The gametic chromosome number of a true diploid species is called. So it is called a basic number. Question number 47. Isogenic lines are used to develop. They are used to develop hybrids. Isogenic lines, they are the lines having the same genotype irrespective of their homozygous or heterozygous nature. Question number 48. In a hybridization program, a recurrent parent is used in. So it is used in a backcross method. The recurrent parent is also known as the recipient parent, or it is the elite line which receives the desired character. Repeatedly it is used in the backcross method. So that was it. Thank you.